Hi guys, and welcome to the Top Form podcast with me, Lewis Quinn, and welcome to the episode. I've been a bit off the grid for the last 2 weeks. Been moving house. First time I've had to move like my full house to another house. Like the house that I've just moved was my first house, so it was a little bit of a graft. I wouldn't say stressful, but yeah, hell of a graft moving things. So anyway, we're back, and it's a little bit of a weird time of year at the moment because we're in like the last sort of stint of the year. Kids have gone back. Christmas is just around the corner, and a lot of people kind of adopt this like, oh yeah, fuck it attitude. It's Christmas coming up. Like, yeah, now we start in the new year, and it's not the case, and it's going to make everything a lot worse if we're putting weight on and we're not really putting the right type of foods in the body, and if we're not exercising on them cold nights. It's a little bit. It'll just make everything a lot worse. It'll emphasize it. So what I did with my clients this week is, and I've got in on this as well, so I've given them a challenge, 2-month challenge. We're kind of looking to finish sort of second week in December, around that time, before all like the major festivities start. Because obviously we want to have a life over Christmas, we don't want to be dieting. Because what's the point? We've got a 2-month challenge. Now it's not who can get the most weight loss, it's not who can build the most muscle. It's whoever can get the most improved and specific to their goal. So all my clients have had to send in their current sort of progress picture of what they look like at the moment. They've then had to put the weight in there as well. And they've also had to say what they want to achieve out of the time. In 2 months, where do they want to be? Do they want to be 5 kilos lighter? Do they want to put on 2 kilos of muscle? Do they want to have the fat percentage down? Something specific to them, okay? Because obviously I've got clients who want to build muscle, clients who want to lose weight. Everyone's a little bit different, so it'd be unfair to do sort of a weight loss challenge when it's not everyone's goal. So we do this for a few reasons. Do it, one, to refocus people. Like me and my mates have done this before. We do this body off competition, and we're talking about doing it again where we, I think we had about 6 months to completely sort of turn around, improve our body shape. And again, not everyone's goal was the same. Some people wanted to lose weight, some people wanted to gain muscle. It was all sort of specific to them, but it was judged on if they got to the goal that they originally said they wanted to get to. So mine, for example, when I did the body off with my mates, was to increase muscle size and reduce fat percentage. Okay, I wanted to reduce my fat percentage so I get back down to around 12%. I think I was sitting around 16 at the time. I put a bit of weight on. One of them years. And yeah, I want to get my body fat back down, so that was my goal. Meningitis had other ideas for me. Training without any direction or any target or any goal in mind is, you're stumbling around in the dark. You don't actually really know what you want, what you should be doing. So that's why we always constantly need a target. Okay, you've probably seen it before where if you've booked, a holiday, or you've got a wedding coming up, or you've got some major event that you want to be in good shape for, and you hammer it. All you do on leading up to that event is train, eat, work, and you're very focused on it, all right? And you get to where you want to be. So you do your holiday, you have your wedding, you've done the honeymoon or whatever, and you come to it and you struggle getting back into training, all right? And you're not the only one. It's a very, very common thing. People struggle to get back into it because they've got no drive, they've got no target to go towards. And that's like a dangerous place to be in. That way you're either going to be plateauing or you're going to just start losing interest in training. And if you just work for 6 months, working your ass off trying to get in shape for a wedding, and let's say maybe you didn't really have much of a background in training, so maybe you was a bit of a newbie or someone who hasn't trained in years, and then you decide you want to get in shape for your wedding, so you've hammered it for 6 months. It's very dangerous then not to have an end goal, a target, a destination where you want to be, because it's very easy to revert back to what you were doing prior to your training, which is detrimental. You don't want to go backwards. You want to keep building on it. You want to get that better attitude towards training and not seen it as a bit of a chore. And you want to be seeing exercise and eating well as a complete lifestyle change. All right, you want it to be a way of life because it's very, very good. I ain't trained now for 2 weeks because of the whole house move. I was packing boxes. It's tough. I was packing Rose's room up. Who seems to have a lot more things than I do, and yeah, it was a graft. So all my energy, all my attention was going to the house move. I did get some walks in with a dog, not like 15-minute walk, but like a good 1 hour, 2 hour walk, which is a lot for me. I don't like walking. So, I was staying somewhat active. My nutrition probably wasn't on point. I think like the last 2 days before I actually moved out, all my cutlery was packed up, all the plate packed up. I had like takeaway 2-3 nights in a row, which is a lot for me as well. Like I love takeaways, love food, but yeah, maybe not that much. Anyway, we are slowly unpacking. There's a lot less boxes in the house. House is slowly turning into a home, which is good. If you ever moved house, you'll completely understand. This is the first time I've done it. When it comes to setting your goals, it needs to be a few things. Number one, it needs to be specific to you. Okay, something that you're actually striving towards, and it is something that you want to achieve. Like for instance, strength. For me, for example, I'm really not too bothered about strength. Like I think it's impressive when you see people, moving 200 kilos on a squat or 300 kilos on deadlift. It's super impressive. I like it, but it doesn't do it for me. So me having a strength goal is not really that specific. It's something where if I achieved it, I probably wouldn't be that satisfied with it because I train for more aesthetics, I'd say. As vain as that sounds, that's what I do train for. I train to look better. It needs to be measurable. So saying I need to lose weight or I'm going to lose some weight is very subjective because, weight loss to you and weight loss to me, the numbers might differ. So I need to lose 5 kilos. I need to use a stone. I need to lose a stone even. It needs to be measurable in some way. If your goal is strength, for example, right, I want to be able to squat 180 kilos. Like this at the moment, I'm squatting 120, I want to be 180. All right? It needs to be somewhat measurable. You need to be able to see it in black and white at your end of your training program and be like, have I achieved it, yes or no? And by how much have I missed or how much have I achieved it by? It needs to be measurable. Achievable, obviously. Now, there is a very fine line between achievable and having something within reach and something that is just daft, right? You've gone beyond the boundaries. Now, when I say achievable, of course, you need to be pushing your boundaries. You need to really be pushing the body to its absolute max outer limits and you be out that comfort zone. So you do really need to be pushing boundaries on achievable. When I say achievable, if I told one of my clients who's just started training with me, 20 plus stone, if I said, right, I want 8 stone off within 2 weeks, it's not achievable to a safe degree, right? I don't think that would even be possible. I think even if they starve themselves, it wouldn't happen, all right? It needs to be achievable within boundaries because if you this is where the balancing act comes in, if you don't make it achievable, if you make it too far beyond or you don't give yourself enough time, then it's detrimental because you're going to be unmotivated, you're going to feel like a failure, you're going to feel a bit shit about yourself and everything's going to go backwards. So make sure you're in that sweet spot of pushing the boundaries, okay? Something that you're going to be struggling with, but you can do it if you put your mind to it kind of thing. Also, your goal needs to be time. You need to give yourself a time frame to achieve that goal in, all right? 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever it is, there's no right or wrong way on being timed. But the time frame has to be there. You need to be against the clock because if you say you want to lose 5 pounds, you could probably do that in a week, right? If you really hammered it, you could really probably do that in a week. Now, does that mean you've achieved your goal? Right? Not really, because it can come on just as fast. So have a good time period. It might be 3 months, it might be 6 months, it might be a year. Okay, if you wanted to run a marathon, you've never done even half a marathon, giving yourself a year would be quite a sensible time frame to get all your training in, to then, go into something that you've never even attempted before. So make sure your goals, when we're setting them, are specific to you, they're measurable, they're achievable within reason, and timed. Be a little bit more interesting with your goal setting as well, all right? If you're not training for a specific competition, like bodybuilding, for example, then, try and get to a percent body fat you've never been before. Try and maybe push your boundaries on the strength if you've just been always doing the same routine, day in, day out, of going to the gym, going on the same few machines, doing the same few exercises within the same rep range, try something a little bit different. All right, try and maybe go for improving that strength. Go for a different 1 rep max. Really smash the boundaries on it. Or switch it up completely. Like me going for a triathlon, right, for example, would be a hell of a change to all the training that I've done in the past. Right, one day, definitely really want to give it a go. Probably not this year, not next year, year after, yeah, why not, give it a go. But we're not here for a long time, so try and push your body in different ways and try and achieve different things and see what you actually can do, because you'll be a lot more satisfied with it than always going for the weight loss option, because you're always going to be interested, right? That's the main thing. People lose interest in training. It gets boring. Probably the biggest reason people stop training is that it's tedious, it's not interesting, it's not stimulating us in any way, shape or form, and we get a bit bored of losing weight. So don't adopt the don't give a shit attitude just because we're in the last leg of the year, the last quarter. Right? Strive to improving yourself from now until mid-December, before all the Christmas parties start. Like, we had a bit of a crap year last year with COVID, so it should be a year we can really enjoy it. Try and be in the best shape, right? Try and be in the most. If you're in good shape, probably gonna be in the most positive mindset, right? You're gonna feel better about yourself. This time of year, it's awful. You wake up, it's pitch black. You come home, it's pitch black. It's pissing down most of the time. I know we have this perfect winter scene in our heads, and it's not normal. There's normally dog poo all under the autumn leaves, and yeah, it's not as pretty as we like in this country. However, being in worse shape or gaining weight, if weight is your thing, or not training, eating crap, not really getting the nutrients that you need in your body, will make everything 10 times worse, right? It puts you in a negative mindset. So challenge yourself this autumn, this winter. Give yourself 2 months to achieve that goal, whatever it is you think of the goal, right? Might be weight loss, might be muscle gain, might be strength, whatever, might be distance in a run. Pick a goal, give yourself until mid-December and go after it, because it'll make your Christmas, it'll make your winter a hell of a lot better if you know you've achieved what you wanted to in the time. Okay guys, make them goals, make them specific, make them measurable, make them achievable, make them timed. Go after them, right? Early to mid-December, right? That's your cut-off date. That's when you want to be in a better position than you are now, all right? Go after it, and I will see you next week for the next episode. Thank you for listening.